Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to Anonymous Commentary. My name is Question Mark, and for whatever reason I chose to conceal my identity, I've done so. So here's the deal. We're going to talk about Russian nuclear aggression. So it appears Putin again threatens to develop previously banned missiles if U.S. does. So here's the deal. To Vladimir Putin, he knows that we're already developing the missiles, and he probably himself is already developing the missiles. So the U.S. maybe even has the missiles already. Who knows? But anyway, let's get started. But before we do, please like, share, and subscribe to Anonymous Commentary. And let's get rolling. This story is by Melissa Leone. Okay? Vladimir Putin warned the U.S. against once again this week that Russia would develop missiles previously banned under a landmark nuclear forces treaty if it learns that the United States has begun building them itself. Of course, we will produce such missiles, the Russian president said at an economic forum on Thursday in his nation's Far East, referring to the short and intermediate range land-launched missiles previously abolished by the 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. Okay, so I guess that there's a previous treaty that they were like, we're not going to build these weapons, but, you know, it's Russia, so, you know, what do you do? We're not happy about the fact that the head of the Pentagon said that the United States intends to deploy them in Japan and South Korea. Putin said, according to Reuters, this saddens us and is cause for certain concern. Russia is a cause for certain concern, quote unquote. Oh man, it's just man, it would be funny if it wasn't so bad. Anyway, Defense Secretary Mark Esper told reporters last month that he wants to deploy an intermediate range conventional missile to Asia, but added that the U.S. is quite some ways away from that. It's going to take a few years to actually have some type of initial operational capability missiles, where they are ballistic cruise, you name it, to be able to deploy, he said, noting that there would be a lot of dialogue between now and then with U.S. partners. Putin said missiles in Asia would be close enough to threaten Russian territory. Well, that's true, but I guess any missile now that I'm sure we have that capability. Esper's remarks came shortly after the United States formally withdrew from the INF on August 2nd. Whoa, we withdrew from a nuclear firearms treaty with Russia? Dude, that could be alarming. I mean, I could see why somebody might think it would be alarming. And then I guess if this thing was phony the whole time, then there was always the same chance of us going to war as that there ever was, whether there was a treaty there or not. Who knows? All right, let's keep reading. He responded by saying that Russia would begin developing short and intermediate range land-launched nuclear missiles if it hears that the U.S. has done the same. The agreement between the U.S. and then Soviet Union eliminated thousands of land ballistic missiles and cruise missiles, as well as nuclear missiles from the stocks of both nations. The INF specifically banned missiles with ranges between 310 and 3,410 miles. The U.S. has claimed Russia's Novator 9M729 missile violated the treaty, as it has a range up to approximately 3,400 miles. So, like we had hypothesized or postulated, I guess is the correct word, in the beginning, that the U.S. and the Russia had already developed these missile capabilities. It seems that buried down in this article, that has become the case. So, our intuitions were correct, boys and girls, but mostly boys. The White House had announced in February that it was suspending its INF obligation and gave Russia 6 months to comply with the treaty, or else it would withdraw. 3 weeks after exiting the INF, the U.S. tested a ground-based cruise missile armed with a conventional warhead that traveled more than 310 miles, which would have been in violation of the agreement. Officials have said the missile could eventually double that range. Putin said that the Russia and the U.S. should resume talks for a possible new treaty in order to avoid an unfettered arms race. Well, of course, that's what he would call for, because that's like the propaganda, right? That's what the state is telling us. Arms race, which he accused the United States of encouraging. I don't see an arms race happening here, Esper has said. Russia has been racing, if anybody, to develop these systems in violation of the treaty, not us. Because like I said, it's been reported that they have the Russia Novator 9M729. So fact check me to see if I'm correct. Tell me if it's all BS. And so that one goes 3,400 miles and ours only goes 310 miles. But I bet you that we have a missile that's capable of going more than that. Plus we could have stealth bombers bring it in, or we could have, I mean, like we did it to Japan, you know? So, and then that was in the 40s. So anyway, I think that's it. The Associated Press helped us out with this one. So look, Russia has been our adversary for some time. I mean, an adversary to the United States, that is. And look, they're just, it's a perpetual struggle for power. And people always want the top dog seat. And, you know, we have a lot of great people that protect the homeland and, you know, fly planes and operate overseas, and they keep us safe here. And it's pretty neat. You know, in Russia, man, Putin is a total thug. I mean, he literally murders his journalistic enemies. Like, literally murders them. Oh, it's bad, man. He basically installed himself as the president for life. It's the same thing that the Chinese President Xi just did. So, two big communist forces showing back up on the scene to maybe take a shot at the U.S. Who knows? I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if it does, we'll be ready. I mean, we got, what, 400 million guns? They're not going to take the continental United States, but we would probably invade them. And then we'd have, like, a whole bunch of land that we'd have to make states out of. It'd be pretty cool. What if the United States had, like, 150 United States? And then we'll annex Hong Kong, too. You know what I mean? But anyway. So if you liked this video and thought it was useful, please like, share, and subscribe to Anonymous Commentary. Once again, my name is Question Mark, and I will be back to give you some more news soon.